And that's just the big thing I love so much about this, running this unit. It's just, I can get so tight. You know, it would take me a half an hour to go in and cut around an oak tree. You know, it takes me 5 to 10 minutes and I've got it cleaned out, you know. And you know, this machine's not going to eliminate all the chainsaw work, depending on, you know, what a landowner's looking for. You know, if they're looking for that real parked out look. You know, some of it's going to depend on the oak trees. You know, if they're real limbed out and you got limbs on the ground, I mean, you're pretty much, your hands are tied as far as getting in there without, you know, breaking branches off and that kind of stuff. But a lot of this oak out here in the hill country, it's straight enough where I can get in very tight to it, make it look pretty dang nice. So there's a place for every machine, you know. And that's why, like, that's a big thing for Crosscut, is diversifying our equipment. You know, just having the versatility to do different kinds of work. You know, the Tiger Cat, I mean, that thing's king. And you get into like medium density, kind of more of that rangeland cedar clearing. I mean, that thing is it's a beast, you know. I mean, I can get 8 to 10 acres a day with that machine, depending on the growth. So it's really nice having this, because you know, if Jordan's out on a site visit and he's seeing, you know, big growth, slope, creek work, you know, and the landowner wants us to get in tight, I mean, we can really knock it out of the park with this machine, you know. So I've been real happy with the Timberpro. We're kind of looking at doing, adding another machine here in the next, hopefully the next month or two. But we're looking at adding a smaller track machine, skid steer size machine, to pair out with this Timberpro. It's just more of a support machine. This thing will cut big trees. I mean, I'm running the 320 horsepower, so I'm not really limited on the size of trees I can cut with this thing. And we can configure the head out a couple of different ways. I'm running carbides on this. You know, out here in the hill country, we're working with a lot of limestone, a lot of rock, and carbides are the way to go. But we're working out east, off the Bastrop area. You know, we can set this thing up and run planers on it, or beavers, and get pretty dang aggressive as far as taking mulching big trees. But we're running a Quadco head on this unit. I've never ran a Quadco until we purchased this machine. I've been really impressed with it. I like the way it's set up. I like the way the teeth are configured on it. It makes a nice mulch, a real nice mulch. So yeah, you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I'm basically working on the side of a cliff right here. And I'm able to get down in there without pushing material. Without pushing material down in there, or actually pushing trees. Hit some rock there. Good old hill country. And that's just what you can't really do that with the wheel machine, you know, with a fixed head. You just don't have that versatility to shovel that material out. So a lot of, you know, there's been plenty of times I've been out there off the machine, hand pulling that stuff out. You know, I like my edges to always be clean. So wherever my cut's ending, I like that edge to be clean. I don't want trees hung up in other trees. Looks really crummy when stuff starts to brown out. We got a bunch of browned out trees pushed up into the green. So I like that about this machine. I can shovel with it, shovel that stuff out of the way. Caught something up there. Yeah, but the thing we're looking at getting that smaller machine to support this, to pick up the production rate a little bit more. A smaller machine can pick up the smaller machines and kind of go in and back drag out behind this machine. Let this thing do the heavy lifting. Do our smaller finish work with the smaller machine. So that's something we're looking at here in the near future. Yeah, the other thing I'm really liking about running the boom, you know, and that's the thing, like, this isn't an excavator, you know. There's guys running excavators with mulching heads on them, and, you know, they work pretty well. I mean, the reason that we didn't go that route is, again, this is a dedicated forestry machine. These are built for the woods. You know, I have the leveling capabilities to level this out on slope, and I'm able to run the GPMs to power through this material. You know, an excavator just doesn't have the power. It'll run a mulching head, you know, but it's just not going to run it as efficiently as this machine is. You know, this thing's built to mulch. So that was a big decision for us when we purchased this machine, to have the capabilities to level, capabilities to get in tight to the oaks, capabilities to shovel with it. And what I mean by shoveling is, it's kind of like, I'll show you here. So I got this slope here. I'm working off my right side of the machine. I've got this big slope, literally like a big drop off. So when I talk about like shoveling material, I'll go in here and I'm actually pushing this material out away from that slope. So I'm able to shovel it out. And it's just so nice. be able to do that. You'll see too, like there's some companies that are building retrofit kits for excavators, so they're putting stuff on there to be able to run basically extra equipment to be able to run a mulching head on those machines. And with this machine, we're super compact, we're zero turn, so as I'm turning this machine and pivoting it, the back of the machine is staying tucked up into the track system. So that keeps us, again, where we're able to get real tight. I mean, a lot of times I got a lot of experience running skid steer mulchers, and you can get in pretty tight with the skid steer just because they're so compact. With this machine, I can get in just as tight with stuff. I am taller, obviously, than the skid steer, but I'm so compact as far as like my width and length of the cab. I can just get into some really tight areas with it. The other thing we're looking at doing with this machine, I'm a kind of like a multi-purpose kind of a guy. I like to have a piece of equipment I can do a couple of different jobs with, so that was another deciding factor when we purchased this machine is, you know, we could run a processing head which will cut trees to length, delimb. You know, we could run a hot saw, which is like a feller buncher style head for actual harvesting. We could run a grubber on this for grubbing mesquite, so that's another thing we can do with this machine. If we had somebody that just wanted to grub mesquite with it, we could throw our grubbing head on and grub that stuff out, shovel it, pile it up, and mulch it up with the wheel machine, or even if we wanted to hook the mulcher head up back onto this and mulch that stuff up. So there's a lot of versatility here with this machine. You know, and we're real good about looking at what's going to work best for the client. You know, I mean, if we're on something and we see that, hey, this is a good job for the wheel machine, I mean, by all means, we're gonna put the wheel machine. You know, it's all about the best value for the landowner. You know, what the landowner's looking for. You know, and we can look at a project and pick the right tool to achieve the best results. But this has been a cool project. We've been able to do a lot of work here. I'm thinking with this job, we're thinking we were probably able to achieve 40% more work. So we were literally able to do 40% more work for this landowner than we could have done with the wheel machine without putting a hand crew in.